The notion of a Satanic New World Order using climate change propaganda to oppress humanity is a complex and multifaceted concept that has gained significant traction in certain conspiracy theory circles. According to this ideology, a secretive and powerful elite, often referred to as the Illuminati or globalists, are manipulating the narrative surrounding climate change to further their own nefarious agendas. These individuals purportedly seek to establish a one-world government, eroding national sovereignty and individual freedoms in the process. Proponents of this theory argue that the climate change agenda is being used as a Trojan horse to impose draconian measures on the population, including stringent regulations, carbon taxation, and the suppression of dissenting voices. They claim that the scientific consensus on climate change is being fabricated or exaggerated to justify these measures, which ultimately serve to consolidate power and wealth in the hands of the elite. This perceived manipulation of the narrative is seen as a means to create a sense of urgency and fear, allowing the New World Order to implement its authoritarian vision for humanity. One of the primary tactics allegedly employed by the New World Order is the utilization of propaganda and disinformation to shape public opinion and influence policy decisions. This can take the form of biased media coverage, manipulated scientific data, and the promotion of climate change as an existential threat requiring immediate and drastic action. By creating a sense of panic and desperation, the elite can allegedly push through legislation and policies that would be otherwise unacceptable to the general population. For instance, the implementation of a global carbon tax or the imposition of strict regulations on industries and individuals could be seen as a means to exert control over the economy and suppress individual freedom. Furthermore, some proponents of this theory argue that the climate change agenda is being used to justify the erosion of national sovereignty and the establishment of a one-world government. The idea of a global response to a global problem is seen as a Trojan horse for the creation of a supranational authority that can impose its will on nations and individuals. This, in turn, would allow the New World Order to exert total control over the global economy, politics, and culture, effectively creating a dystopian nightmare. However, it is essential to approach this conspiracy theory with a critical and nuanced perspective. While it is true that climate change is a complex and multifaceted issue that requires a coordinated global response, it is also important to recognize the overwhelming scientific consensus on the matter. The vast majority of climate scientists agree that human activities, particularly the emission of greenhouse gases, are significantly contributing to global warming and associated climate-related problems. To dismiss this scientific consensus as a fabrication or an exaggeration is to ignore the overwhelming evidence and to jeopardize the well-being of future generations. In addition, the idea of a Satanic New World Order using climate change propaganda to oppress humanity is often based on a distorted and simplistic view of the world. The reality is that the global response to climate change is complex, multifaceted, and involves a wide range of stakeholders, including governments, corporations, industries, and individuals. To reduce this complexity to a simplistic narrative of good vs evil or to attribute the actions of a diverse range of actors to a single, monolithic entity is to ignore the nuances and complexities of the issue. In conclusion, the notion of a Satanic New World Order using climate change propaganda to oppress humanity is a complex and multifaceted concept that requires a critical and nuanced perspective. While it is essential to approach this conspiracy theory with skepticism, it is also important to recognize the overwhelming scientific consensus on climate change and the need for a coordinated global response to address this pressing issue. By adopting a critical and informed approach, we can work towards a more sustainable and equitable future, rather than becoming mired in simplistic narratives and conspiracy theories. Ultimately, it is through education, critical thinking, and a commitment to evidence-based decision-making that we can create a better world for all, rather than succumbing to the forces of repression and manipulation.